Fraser scores! There's scenes here at Perry Park!
Chris Lynn has taken the wild thing and sent him...
Oh, bang, bang, bang! Wow! Yeah!
G'day and welcome to the first episode of 2019 of the Beyond the Sidelines podcast.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
That was Campbell being annoying.
Hell yeah.
Joining us from Rockhampton via the phone is Gusman himself. Mate, how is Rocky?
The armpit.
Oh, it's good. It's as good as ever, boys. It's still very hot, and you know what? I'm enjoying it. So, you know, let's crack on with this podcast.
Gee whiz, you're a
Get out
wordsmith,
some-
mate. You are a
I am.
wordsmith, to say the least.
Way with words.
Yeah.
But what did you do for New Year's in Rockhampton? What does one do?
I went to the Gracemere Hotel and had a nice had a
Where everyone
nice
wants to
steak
be.
and had a nice steak and chips and a beer, and that was
Oi,
pretty
oi.
much my New Year's.
Spicy waters?
So, a perfect way to end a 2020. I gotta
To
say.
end 2020. Jeez, man, it's
Jesus.
only just begun.
Getting ahead a little bit, mate.
And
I said enter. God.
Oh,
did
okay,
you? There
sorry.
you go. Okay, we'll let you off.
Enunciate.
We'll let you off because one of my resolutions this year, Campbell, is
Yes.
to bully Gussie less.
Oh, I don't know if I can commit to that.
All right, I'm out of it.
Okay,
Gussie, 2020. What's your resolution or resolutions?
Well, I said I'd get a six-pack, but I've already eaten 2 Maxi Bonds on the first day. So that's kind of gone out the window. I mean, I didn't really think of any past that.
You were actually funny there.
That was good.
That was good work.
That was good. I like
Jeez.
it.
I was actually being honest. I that was actually my resolution, and you're laughing at my face.
No, that's all good, mate. And Campbell, what about you, mate?
We've spoken about it a little bit, but read some more articles and probably maybe go for a bit of a run. I know, not funny as Gussie, but go for a bit of a run. We've got kind of similar ones.
Yeah, I think so. I think
but-
I also want to start my own podcast.
Oh,
I'm kidding. That was a joke. See, not as funny as Gussie.
No.
We've swapped.
no. Is this 2020?
I don't like
Is this the side of
2020.
things-
Can
I
we
don't
go
like
back?
it already, please.
Anyway.
New
let's
year,
we're in
new
the
me,
Twilight
mate.
Zone.
New year, new me.
Just lay off those Maxibons. All right, Gussie. Let's start off with the Fast Five, guys. Obviously, 5 minutes, 5 topics. Well, I think everybody knows that by now, surely.
Yeah, but we've got to wrap it
All
up
of
every
the-
time, you know?
The
Yeah,
Beyond the
it's fine.
Sidelines faithful, I think.
The faithful.
If they are really the faithful, they should know. Anyway, let's start us off. Gusman, the Brisbane Heat losing at Metricon again. Should they keep playing there?
I don't know why they're playing there. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's where you take your sport to die, pretty much. The Gold Coast. That's what it's usually. It's a graveyard of sport. They've lost every single match they've played there over the past 2 BBL campaigns. So that's about 4 games, I believe.
Yeah, it's fine.
The aim is they want to bring the BBL to the Gold Coast. They want the fans on the Gold Coast to enjoy the BBL, which is fine, but it's just not a sporting destination.
Yeah.
Well, Gussie, the Gold Coast public, are they on the Gold Coast at the moment, or do you think they're travelling interstate? You know,
Good point.
There are a lot of people at this time of year, obviously, travelling, like I said, interstate to see family and friends. So can they really sustain trying to open a cricket market on the Gold Coast now?
Well, I don't know, but look, have you seen the crowds that have shown up to the games?
Not
Pretty
Flash.
dismal.
Not Flash.
It's been dreadful. I mean, they took a game there
Yeah.
where it was I think it
Strikers,
was Hobart
Stars.
Hurricanes
No, Strikers.
and Stars.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Who's going to that game?
That
Who's going
made
to that?
no sense to me. I mean, this is all just BBL brand expansion. That's the whole point of this.
Is it expansion?
Look,
Who knows?
It could be.
I thought it was the Brisbane Heat, not the Gold Coast Heat, not the Queensland Heat. I thought it was the Brisbane Heat. They should be playing all their games at the Gabba.
Jeez, Bev's angry.
Bev's angry. Well, I think
Yeah, well, it just annoys me because they're losing these games and they need to win them.
it's
So
just ridiculous.
I'm flabbergasted.
It's really frustrating me.
It is, mate. Anyway, Nick Kyrgios, he's the bad boy of Australian tennis, but
no
he's
one likes him.
tweeted, "Come on, Tennis Australia, surely we can do a pre-Australian Open EXO to raise funds for those affected by the fires."
Yeah.
Obviously, the fires in New South Wales and Victoria at the moment, but Campbell, why don't they?
Why don't they? I don't know why. I really like this idea.
And coming from him, this is a bit
it's
surprising.
a bit uncharacteristic from him. I really like the idea. I think it'd be really cool. It's almost like a kind of Live Aid kind of thing,
Yep.
but with obviously sport, which is quite fitting.
For Australia.
For Australia.
It's fitting, yeah.
But I'd love to see it. It depends who will compete. I doubt that many athletes will risk their body.
I disagree. I think the athletes, they're playing pre-Australian Open tournaments now anyway.
Yeah.
And with everything that's going on, there's a bit of humanity.
Yeah. I'd like if it was a bit more of like a fun kind of tournament. Like, people don't really care if they win or lose. Like, it's kind of just more of like one of those fun ones.
Well, do you remember a few years ago they introduced the Fast Four?
Not the Fast Five?
Not the Fast Five, no. Fast Four, it was first of 4 games.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
They could do that. Do that in doubles or something, but have a bit of a play around with it.
Well, we need some fire rate.
Are you guys surprised that this was done by Nick Kyrgios, this tweet? Because he's sort of seen as the bad boy of tennis, I guess. He often overreacts to situations. It's just a surprise that, I guess for me personally, it's just a surprise that he'd come out with a tweet like this.
Well, as much as he's probably not a great guy, he probably still cares about the Fires, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Campbell, 2020, what's your prediction for the year across any sport?
Yeah, so we've all got a prediction. Mine for today is, I think, and this is probably quite un-Queenslandish of me, which I'm not a Queenslander or a Brisbanelander. Not a Brisbanelander by birth. I did not grow here. Flew here. But I'm saying the Brisbane Lions are going to slip out of the top 8 this year.
That's a shout.
That is a big shout, going from 2nd to below 8, so they won't make the finals. The reason for me saying this is because of their injury record last year. It was next to perfect. I don't think they had a single injury until the last game where Robbo came in afterwards. After I can't remember who was injured. It may have been I think it was Robbo for Robbo in that one, which is that was pretty much, I think that was a finals game as well.
Yeah, it was.
So regular season they had no injuries. Also, like no NEFL players were called up to the main squad, which, how good is their depth?
And what if Lachie Neale goes down?
Exactly.
Very early on. Mate, if he goes down, the Lions, forget about finals. Try and, not come last.
Yeah.
Really.
He's really the catalyst for that squad.
Yeah.
As a whole. Like, I don't see that. Like, they have some solid players, but solid players of 1 year. Like, a lot of those players, it was their breakout year last year, and
can they back it up? Second year syndrome.
They may do even better. Who knows?
That's right. And Gusman, same question, mate. I'm sure you're going to talk about some league.
No, I'm actually going with the cricket, and I'm also jumping on the anti-Queensland bandwagon. I'm saying that the Brisbane Heat are going to finish last in the BBL competition.
We are
BBL
quite negative. We are quite negative.
We are quite negative. We're not going for someone to win. We're going for the... I'm going for the favourites of this competition to come last, and I just think it's down to their depth. They don't have enough depth in that side. Their batting lineup is seen as probably one of the best on paper, but they are all hacks. Like, we can all look at that side and we say there is not one player in that side that can stay in and build an innings, and that's what you need in a BBL team. You need that in a T20 side. They do get AB de Villiers soon, so that will be a big help, but I really don't think it's going to be enough. The game against the Scorchers was just embarrassing.
That was.
They don't have the spin options as well. That's another point. Spin has been massive in the competition so far.
Yeah.
Teams with spinners have done really well. So the Thunder have done really well with all their spinners.
Stars with Adam Zampa.
Yeah, exactly. The Heat have played... they had Schwepson, but he's gone with the test team.
Yeah.
But they have one spinner at the moment.
Yeah,
just not good enough.
Yeah. Well, the thing with T20 cricket as well, especially in the BBL, is I feel like you need to have a mix of stars and solid players that aren't going to get called up for the test.
Well, that's why the Melbourne Stars are going to struggle, I think. In the latter part of the season, they are head and shoulders the benchmark at the moment. But Glenn Maxwell, Stoinis, Zampa, when they all go, mate, they're going to struggle.
That's why I rate the strikers, I think, because they have that kind of in-between where they're solid players, but like Billy Stanlake's not going to be called up for the Australian team.
He might,
Jake Weatherald, maybe?
He might play T20, Stanlake. He might.
Maybe.
And
I like the look of the Thunder, exactly for that reason, but based on their spinners.
And AB de Villiers, when he comes in, Tom Banton goes. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's not really fixing that problem. Anyway, jumping on to the last one, my prediction, Brothers, the Filth, I think they'll still walk into finals, despite some players, I think, moving on to higher honours. So I'm talking about Fraser McWright, Harry Wilson, those players who I think will be donning the Queensland Reds jumper on a pretty regular basis next season.
I think so too. I think that's a fair prediction. Who do you think maybe some younger players like Ethan Dobbins, maybe some others step up into their place?
Brothers, their strength that they showed in 2019 was, I think it was every grade making the final.
That's not completely uncharacteristic for Brothers.
It's not, but
They're
it's
pretty deep.
It's pretty uncharacteristic for any other club.
Yeah,
it shows how they are the benchmark, I guess, across the whole club.
Certainly.
But yeah, I think those players, they've shown that players can, I guess, move up. And you'll have some Colts players, like you said, who might step up and take those jumpers. Also, like Byron Ralston, who we spoke about last week, he's not contracted to a Super Rugby side. And he's a very good player. So, he'll help.
With the Western Force, right?
He was.
For the NRC.
Who aren't in the Super Rugby, Super 15, 18, 12, 11, whatever it is next year.
Someone's got to sweep him up.
Exactly. He was the top try scorer in Prem grade last year. So, still, I think they'll absolutely waltz into finals next year and probably contest for the title.
Ooh, probably with the students as well, probably.
I think the students will be up there, but again, they're very lucky, like Brothers, to be blessed with some talent in depth.
I mean, Tate McDermott will be playing Reds.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, apparently.
No, yeah,
does
we'll
it?
Playing, yeah, exactly.
He'll still be playing the final.
Exactly. I knew you would have something to say about that.
Anyway, one man who won't be playing for Brothers next year is Pavel Florin. Mate,
that is a segue and a half.
That is a segue.
That is a segue and a half. I love it.
Guys, I really hope people listening have seen this guy play, seen the footage that is available online.
Yeah, if not, it's on our Instagram and our Facebook. So go have a look at it and you'll get some context.
Exactly, but his bowling action is unique, to say the least, but he's also a very, very passionate cricketer. And he's from Romania, of all places.
Bit unorthodox.
Bit unorthodox, Campbell. It's very bizarre, but again, he loves his cricket, so you can listen to what he has to say right now.
We are joined by Romanian cricket star Pavel Florin. How are you, Pavel?
Hi, here in Romania is past just the morning, but I am well.
You are well?
Good to hear.
That's great to hear. You were recently in Australia on holiday. What was your highlight of your trip?
Yes, for first time not was in holiday. I'm not a tourist. I'm a cricketer, but my visa was tourist visa because I come to play and I don't play for money. So the visa must be tourist visa.
Oh, fantastic. How did you enjoy your time?
Yeah, it was a very good time for me and was a new experience. Just imagine I stay about 27 days, 26 days, and every day I play cricket. I play on the beach, on the indoor cricket, on the turf, on the synthetic, everywhere, every day. Sometimes 2 matches on day.
Really? Well, Pavel, as a Romanian, how did you fall in love with cricket?
The Romanian, we are sport people, and our past. If you see our past in Olympics, we have many medals.
Yep.
But here in Europe, the cricket is not rich, and I am not the first, but I start to play for curiosity, and I remain to this sport.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. And when you were in Melbourne, you were playing for the Surrey Hills Cricket Club. What was it like playing for them?
I have an agreement with Surrey Hills, financial problem to reach in Australia.
Yep.
And they was agreed to pay me the ticket and the accommodation. And in return, I come and I play for this club. And we was amazing people there, and Mel Campbell, the president, is a true friend, and I have a extraordinary time there with everybody in that club.
You met legends of the game like Jeff Thompson and Brian Lara. What was it like to learn off guys like that?
For me personally, they are not legends because I start cricket just now. I'm like a baby. So for me, I don't meet that guys when they play. And it was very easy for me to be social and don't say you are a god of cricket or something. And uh, that guy liked my attitude, and we speak maybe in 1 hour there. And also with Brian Lara, we play some balls
I saw that.
in that studio.
Yeah, we saw
And
that.
Jeff is amazing guy and speak about cricket. We speak about another things, and we have a good discussion there. It was a good time.
Well, you were also featured on the Front Bar show on Channel 7. What was it like to talk to those guys?
Now, this I want to say. I don't meet before. Not Brian, not Jeff, not Mitch of the Front Bar. And after I go there, everybody say, wow, wow, wow. But for me, was something normal. And also, Brian and Jeff was normal people, and don't have that light of big stars. It was very good people. And on the Front Bar, I was prepared for more time, but it was just 5 minutes, and I can't say everything I want to say. But this is the television.
Yeah.
Exactly. We also saw you're on stick cricket, a game very popular amongst Australians on the phones. How did that come about, or how did you manage that?
Many people think I have money, or I do the cricket for the money. The reality is half of the money I make from my job with sponsor is go to cricket.
Wow.
Fantastic.
With the people of stick cricket, I have a agreement, and they say we make a personage for me, or a character, and I don't have money. How to say? I don't need money from this, and for me it was a good deal, because you see, if a Romanian reach in the game, is a good publicity for cricket here in Europe and in Romania, and is not need money for this.
For sure, we agree.
If you
It's a great
understand me.
idea. We're really glad you're on there. It's great for European cricket and Romanian cricket.
Is very simple agreement, and that guys was very good, and we have a very good collaboration, and both the parts work for the cricket. No, me and we make the same thing, and we hope do more together.
And I guess, mate, you also spoke about the popularity of cricket in Europe, and I guess that's how you became famous, playing in the European Cricket League. So what was it like playing in that tournament, and do you think cricket might become more popular in Europe?
The best part of my cricket was when I play in Australia.
Really?
And in Australia, I play with the children, I play with the old men, I play with the first team to second team, fifth team, eighth team of the club, and it's not was the problem. Is was very intense, and very I was a joy to play.
So do you think?
So European Cricket League is a competition who everybody want to win, but cricket is to play, not to win sometimes. Turn back of your question, it was a good experience, and I reached there, it was everything different, and the value of the player was higher and was professional player, and I want just prove I am good on this game.
Well, that's great.
There.
That's great, mate. Do you think you'll ever come back to Australia to play cricket? Is that something you want to do?
Now I'm here in Romania, and I have a beautiful country, and is good people here, and here is my family and my friends. But here is now winter, and is not nobody here play cricket. He said. Also, my teammates are gone, and we don't have place, and is snowing, and we can't play. So, really, I miss Australia, and I hope to turn back. I don't know when. I have 1 month and a half of my visa, so I don't know what happened tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, mate. And let's talk a little bit about your bowling style. It's a bit different. It's quite a slow bowling action. Can you explain why you bowl that way?
Yes, you are here in Romania, and in your team, everybody is expense, so they know cricket from child, and everybody is better with bowling, and you don't have chance to bowl in important matches. So you try to do something and try to learn how you bowl, but you don't have a coach, or you need to just following the rules and watch the another how they do. I bowling like this because nobody train for this bowling. If you go in the nets, nobody throw this kind of ball to you.
Yep.
And is a surprise for the batsman.
Well, how would you describe your bowling?
I say before is more names. The style is slow bowling, and I throw like a grenade.
No, but like,
And
sorry, you go.
is working. If you see of my statistics in international matches, or also in Australia, is not so bad. I take wickets with this style of bowling.
Well, no, I think it was your second game playing for Surrey Hills. You took 3 wickets for 10 runs and 3 catches. Is that right?
Yeah, but it was that time was easy wickets because it was the batsman number 6, 7, and 9 or something. Is not was the first. And for me, it's important to be to confront the best batsman. I am a fighter and I am a sportsman, and I want this. In that match, it go everything good for me, and the first catch was one very, very good catch, but not was on camera. But I have a very good wickets in the last week. I take the batsman number 1 or number 3, and this is important for me because they are the best batsmen, and in that time you see how is your value.
No, that's right, mate. But I think don't downplay yourself. You took 3 wickets. There's still 3 wickets. But that being said, you still want to get those top order batsmen out, right?
Yeah, but you see, it's a battle here with me. Everybody, not everybody, but most people say, "Oh, this is not cricketer," and I want to say to the world, I am a cricketer and I am good. I don't have just a funny throw, but I do good things for my team.
For sure.
This is important. This is important for a sportsman. I am not I am not an internet sensation. I'm a sportsman.
For sure. And we saw you take a wicket. It was kind of ball came back towards you, trying to
play it down the ground. You then deflected it onto the wickets. That was pretty good skill from you, I think.
That part is more easy for me because you come from another sport, and in past I was futsal keeper.
Yep.
And my eyes every time is on ball, and in futsal you use your feet, but here in cricket you don't use it
Exactly.
to defend the ball.
So did you play?
It was a natural reflex.
Yeah, exactly. And did you play any other sports when you're in Romania still? You played futsal as a keeper. Play any other sports there?
Yeah, no many people know I am good to the sports. I have 6 national championship with 3 different sports. So I have some background in sport.
Yeah.
And I know, I can say I know every sport in this world. If you ask me about one sport, I tell you everything. Also, I know about Aussie rules. I see 200, 300 matches, and I don't play never because here is not Aussie rules in Europe, but I know everything about Aussie rules.
Oh, I should have given it a go when you were in Melbourne then.
But not was the season of
True.
Aussie rules, and it was I go to find people who play, but they are just make the physical training before the championship, and I don't find, but I kick a ball just for fun, and I think it's very good sport and is built for men.
Well, do you have an AFL team, Pavel, that you like to support?
Don't ask me this, please. Is not good for me because it's a war there in Australia. Is a war with Aussie rules. I can't say anything. I don't have a favorite team, but I like this sport.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
I like.
Fair enough. And you mentioned it earlier about how you had to be on a tourist visa while you were here. You did apply for a working visa, correct?
No, I apply for a tourist visa
Okay.
2 times, and 2 times was denied my visa. Is some politics of government, and for me it was a little hard to obtain to reach of this visa because I live in East Europe, and my bank account is not so big, and that was a problem. And after everything was good. I don't want to say anything more. I'm happy because I'm rich there. So
Well,
when finally give me the visa, in 5 hours I was in the plane and I go to Australia.
In 5 hours?
Quick turnaround.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I called the club, and after second time when denied me the visa, my plane is go.
Wow.
And it was a surprise the visa come, and I called the president, and the president he say, when you want to come? And I say, with the first plane. And it was the first plane.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome.
That's great to hear. Well, it was awesome to see that you enjoyed your time in Australia, playing plenty of cricket, and hopefully we can see you back here down under sometime soon.
Thank you for listening to me.
And that, of course, was Pavel Florin. Now, boys, he was joining us from Romania, fresh off his trip down under, the cricket sensation. What did you make of that interview?
That was great. That was our first international interview.
First of many,
I'm sure.
For sure.
LeBron James, we're coming for you, mate.
We're gunning for you.
English is his second language, so it was really tough to, I guess, organise it. Romania's 8 hours behind as well, so I was really struggling through the...
Mate,
the
I
old
don't know what's
social
worse,
media.
Rocky or Romania, mate, honestly. In terms of scheduling, you're pretty bad yourself.
I'm going to go with the former there.
Yeah.
No, he was great, though. He was great. And again,
He was really awesome.
you said there were some issues, I guess, or the the time difference or the language barrier at times, but still,
Lovely
you see,
guy.
lovely guy. You see how much he loves cricket. I think it's awesome that he came down under just to play the game he loves.
Yeah, and what I love is that even though Romania is not a traditional cricketing nation, he just loves it so much, and it really shows that cricket and sport in general doesn't have a language.
It doesn't have a language, mate. It's universal,
Yeah.
and that's
Exactly.
so unique.
Yeah.
The fact he is Romanian, he's a cricketer, but then you've got his bowling action,
I think he's the first ever. Yeah, the bowling action's
which
incredible,
is
but I think he's
try and describe it in 3 words.
wide.
Slow, slow, slow.
He's not very funny anymore. He killed it.
He did kill it.
No.
No, but he's a lovely guy, and I think, what did he say? He said something about. Oh no, I read somewhere that he's the first ever Romanian-born cricketer.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
First of many. Again,
First of many. He's a trendsetter. He met the great Brian Lara. Hey,
I reckon Romania could be a powerhouse in about 20 years.
Smoky.
Schmoggy. Dead set.
What do you reckon,
Schmoggy.
guys?
Honestly, they could probably beat New Zealand right now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, that's a good way to bring it up, Gusman. New Zealand losing to Australia by 247 runs in the Boxing Day Test. Gusman, since you brought it up, mate, why don't you kick us off? Australia absolutely pantsing them, mainly with the bat.
So good.
Yeah, look, another perfect batting display by the Aussies in the first innings. Scored over 400 runs. And when you do that, you sort of set yourselves up for a good test match. Look, New Zealand have struggled with the bat all tour, I guess. And Australia, on home soil, they really put you to the sword. So, look, I also don't think New Zealand were at their usual best.
No.
As well. They weren't at their usual standard, so, yeah.
Well, their bowling attack across both games, New Zealand I'm talking about, has been abysmal.
Dreadful.
And your man, you're a bit of a boy crush at the moment, I think. Bit of a man
so.
crush.
Yeah,
Mitch Santner.
I know, I'm kind of copying him with the glasses at the moment.
Exactly.
They're quite Santner-esque.
But don't copy his bowling action, mate, because
No.
he's far from flash at the
Can't
moment.
turn the doorknob. We've said that we've seen that Kane Williamson may be doubtful, but I think Santner might be doubtful as well.
Should be doubtful.
Just because he's shit
Put
house.
everyone else in quarantine
Yep.
except for Santner. Lock him in a room with Kane and just see what happens. It was
Let
an
him get
accident.
sick.
It
We
was
need
an accident.
excuse. Whoops.
For the
New
sake of the
Zealand-
nation. That's all I'm trying to say. What do you do in New Zealand cricket? Anyway,
Well, New Zealand are in big strife if Kane Williamson and Henry Nicholls aren't in that side for the Sydney Test as well, because they're probably their 2 best batsmen. Although there's Ross Taylor as well, but
Yeah,
those
he's been
two have
terrible
really,
this tour.
those two have really done well in the middle order for New Zealand over the 2019 season. And look, if they're not in the side, New Zealand are going to have even more problems.
well, Williamson more so, mate, because only 2 years ago, I think it's fair to say he was the best batsman in Test cricket.
He has one of the highest
Around the globe.
averages for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Tom Latham, he's been dreadful,
Exactly.
but he has the highest average for an opener
there you
in the
go.
world
Really?
since 2017, and he has
Yeah.
been woeful, and he looks afraid
Yeah.
every time he's at the crease.
Well, actually, I wonder if that's only taking into account when he has been an opener, because he's
Yeah.
had a bit of time in the middle order.
So
Um,
small sample space potentially.
Because he's been, he's dabbled with the gloves. He's played a bit of wiki
Mm-hmm.
for New Zealand. But obviously they got BJ Watling there now, so that's all. That's all good. But
Well, someone I'm liking is Tom Blundell.
Tom Blundell, mate,
Was he opening this game? He was.
it was
correct?
opening.
With Latham.
Yeah.
Didn't do too flash in the first innings. I forgot what he scored, but it wasn't
So no,
anything.
But his second innings
Right.
made up for it a bit.
Exactly. I think he
Bit
was
of a standout.
the first Kiwi to score a Test century
was.
at the MCG
Yes, he
ever,
was.
I think,
Yeah.
which is incredible. But
Or like at least since 1990 or something.
a long time.
Well,
Well,
either
New
way.
Zealand haven't played a Boxing Day Test in Australia in 32 years.
Oh, so it's definitely not 1990.
No, a bit further than
Yeah.
that, mate. But my question for you two is, should New Zealand have to wait another 32 years for another Boxing Day Test?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I like a little bit of the Trans-Tasman rivalry.
Beige
honestly.
Brigade?
The Beige Brigade have been very good, and especially
good.
in Melbourne, there's a lot of Kiwis there. So I think it's good. I think it's better than having, at least on days like when New Zealand are batting, there's still somewhat of a crowd there.
Yep.
Whereas when Pakistan were here, when Pakistan were batting, no one was there.
Well,
Also, they were dreadful. So
I'll say this: I'm a bit confused because New Zealand their fans tend to be quite quiet, as do Australian fans.
oh, they were loving it.
But I don't know what it was about this test. They were absolutely
It's the most
in
vocal
full
I've seen
voice.
them.
they were like the Barmy Army.
They were.
I think that's a pretty fair comparison. So I would love New Zealand to take that back to the, University of Otago Oval down in Dunedin.
Love it.
Across the Tasman. And, be in full voice in New Zealand.
I love that we've only got one captain chant. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was smart.
That was smart. That's
That was
clever. That's
smart.
a thinker.
Anyway. And
How about Geordie Barrett in the crowd as well?
See, I love
Yeesh.
being able to talk about All Blacks when it's not rugby season. But he was chucked out of the G for apparently sculling half a beer. Now, I'm sure you guys have been to...
That's an absolute crime in Australia. That's a crime.
Exactly. It's fair enough. He should have... he knew what he was getting himself into, Gusman. No. I think the fun police at professional sports games now, it's a bit of a joke, isn't it, guys?
Exactly. It starts off with the beach balls. You get them getting popped, and then it moves on to no one can scull a beer. I remember once watching this kid come down the aisle.
Well, he didn't scull a beer, did he?
No, he had a Powerade in his hand.
No.
And the whole crowd, skull. It's good fun. But he didn't do it, did he? Because he's a wuss. But
No, he didn't want to get chucked out. Fair enough.
Exactly. He was scared.
And the beers, they're watered down anyway. Not that I'm...
Clear beers, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not that I'm promoting heavy drinking or
Pretty
anything,
much
but
Iron Jack.
you've got to drink quite a lot of them. Spend, half your life savings to, feel anything, I guess. But anyway, there'll be plenty of fans making the trip up to Sydney. Let's talk a bit about the Sydney test.
Firstly,
New Year's test. Go.
Justice for Geordie.
Justice for
Let's get
Geordie.
some justice for
I
Geordie.
did it.
Yeah, you did.
You guys didn't. I'm a bit disappointed in that.
Not a Kiwi, am I?
Maybe I should put it on our story. There you
Should
go.
have.
That's an idea.
Exactly. Too late now.
Too late now. But the Sydney test, obviously, the big talking point is Mitchell Swepson, apparently due for his test debut against Steve O'Keefe.
Yeah, I think that's a good move.
Being overlooked when he's the incumbent, I guess it's fair to say, when it comes to these New Year's test matches.
I've actually heard they're going to go with the same squad. So the same side as the MCG team. So that looks to be the side they're going with. They're going with James Pattinson again.
I like that.
And he was outstanding.
Who's your source, mate?
I saw it on Fox Sports.
Oh, did you? Okay, I thought...
I believe Tim Payne said something in a press conference saying they're probably going to go with the same team.
Yeah.
Is it a double bluff, though? Could be a bluff.
Maybe, but James Pattinson, he was outstanding. He took 3 wickets in both innings, 6 wickets in the match. And look, that Australian bowling attack is probably the best in the world.
I would say so.
I agree. See, I thought he had a connection at the Courier Mail that was telling him things.
No, I wish.
I
wish.
No, it's not that.
Genuinely, I think Jimmy Pattinson does do better in Melbourne. He's a Melbourne boy. He tends to perform there. But I was really impressed with his performance. He was on fire. Cummins as well with a fifer.
Yeah, I don't think...
In the first innings.
I think it's fair to say it'll be a 3-0 series whitewash by Australia. And that's coming from a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. Anyway, Bulls Masters Cricket, Gusman. Our favourite time of the week. We didn't have any games last week because of Christmas.
It was the Christmas and Boxing Day, New Year's Eve break.
But we're back into it.
We're back into it now. This coming weekend, we've got the final 2 rounds of the Kookaburra T20 competition.
Only 2 more, Campbell.
Two more games of the 2020, and then we're back to the 2-day stuff, guys. Come on, we're back to the 2-day stuff. Yes.
Woohoo.
So, round 5 is on the Saturday, round 6 on the Sunday. Probably the game to watch on the Saturday is top of the table clash, boys. Sunshine Coast and the University of Queensland.
That's a good one.
At Elizabeth Daniels Park on the Sunshine Coast. Look, this could really decide who finishes in first place and gets a home semi-final later in January when they do the finals, sort of stuff for the T20 competition.
Have you got a tip, mate? Have you got a tip?
Yeah, I'm tipping UQ. I think they've been dominant in almost every
format.
Every format.
Every format really, except for the 1-day stuff. But they were still pretty good in that.
Across the whole season, though, they haven't really faltered.
Exactly. So I see them doing really well. Their batting side is just unbelievable. Expect a big fight from the Sunshine Coast. They have been pretty good as well. The Flores boys, the brothers there, they'll be making plenty of runs. The round 6 game, the Sunday, Northern Suburbs and the Gold Coast are also looking to finish in that top 4 and aim for a home semi-final. So expect that one to be another great clash.
So
try and get down to it if you can.
There's plenty riding on the games this week then.
Yes, plenty going on here. There's the top two sides, Sunshine Coast and UQ, they're undefeated. So it's likely that they'll be playing finals. But then you've got 4 sides there, Northern Suburbs, Western Suburbs, Valley and Gold Coast, all on 3 points. So any of those sides could really get into that top 4 and play finals cricket. So really exciting stuff.
No, that's awesome, mate. That's awesome. Again, make sure you go down to those games if you have the chance. Plenty of action, no doubt. But Big Bash, let's talk the pros again. Campbell, lead us off.
Well, we had a Metricon game against the Stars on the first, correct? Which was a Brizzy Heat game. Against, or was that?
Scorchers. It was
Scorchers.
My bad. Stars was the one before, right?
Chasing 149.
Chasing 149. Jesus.
And, mate, that's not a huge target. I guess we saw today, well, we've seen over the last few weeks, that's about par on the Metricon Stadium, but
yeah,
Metricon pitch, I should say. But with that batting lineup, they should have got there, right?
They really should have. You'd assume they would, but...
Can I just say that this is disgraceful? This is the worst batting performance from a Brisbane Heat side I reckon I've ever seen. They were, at one stage, 7 for 51.
Wow.
7 for 51. That's like, that makes my eyes bleed.
Look,
it's that bad. That brings me back to year 9 cricket, 9Bs, taking on Toowoomba, getting rolled for 32. That's that sort of rubbish there.
Look, it's not acceptable, but I guess in a way, isn't that just an extreme version of what T20 cricket can be? Because at the end of the day, T20 cricket is a lottery.
I guess. But look, the Brisbane Heat, their batting lineup, you look at it, it's the best in the league. They should be winning these games. They should be chasing 140. And when your number 11 batsman is top scoring for your batting side, that is dreadful. Well, and they really need to be fixing it up.
That's the first time in BBL history
it's ever happened
that a number 11 has topped the score sheet for a team. So that's not acceptable.
And Chris Lynn said something about it, didn't he?
Well, pretty much, to be honest, what Gusman just said. He's really disappointed, and I think he suggested that the Heat are going to have a serious, hard look at themselves. And
they need a spray.
They do, mate. They do. Lehman, Buff, come on, mate.
Get angry, mate.
Get angry. Rip in. But if they weren't already, they are very much in the danger zone now, aren't they?
They do.
You start losing more games, finals starts to look that much bleaker. So they're very much on the brink.
How are we doing in the rest of the league, though? The rest of the competition?
Well, the sides that I didn't expect to be up the top are up the top. So the Sydney Thunder have done quite well, although they did lose just recently to the Melbourne Stars. But they have done well because of their spinning options. And I brought this up earlier. They have about 3 spinners in their side, and they have ripped through middle orders. And I know the Scorchers did it the other night against the Heat. If you have a good spinner in your side, or if you have a couple of good spinners in your side, you're going to go a long way in this competition this year.
Rashid Khan?
Rashid Khan's a great example.
Sorry, Gusman, did you see him with the bat on New Year's Eve? He was sweeping like Yorkers for fours, like quite impressively. Something that a player in his position, a bowler, should not be able to do.
Well, he got pushed up the lineup the other day. On I can't remember what the day it was. It was when they were playing. I think it was when they were playing at Metricon, maybe.
Okay.
I remember we were watching the game.
Yep.
He got got pushed up the order.
20 signed off 10.
Yeah, it was something really good. While you'd like him to stay in there for longer, he still did very well.
How far has his batting come? Because when he came into the league about 2-3 years ago, he was the best bowler in the league.
Yeah.
And he's not the best batsman. I'm not going to say anything like that. But he's starting to hold his own, isn't he? And he's becoming that much more effective. And his IPL, value...
he's the best T20 bowler
is going to rise. Hands down. And he's 21, I think.
He's 21, he's still so young.
He looks about 43, doesn't he?
He does.
I thought he'd be older.
Birth certificates needed. But
yeah, exactly.
Other than that, he's good at cricket, though. That's what's important for the strikers.
Exactly. I mean, I was just about to say, he scored about 40 runs off 15 or 16 balls that night. And the technique from him as a bowler, that was just... that I haven't seen batting quite like that before. And like you saw the reactions from the Sydney Thunder bowler, Daniel Sams.
Yeah.
when he bowled his delivery and he sweeped it off his legs for four. He couldn't believe it. And he is such an integral part of that Adelaide Strikers side.
Yeah.
Just such a good player, and I love watching him play.
He is so good for them. I really like that squad. I really like Alex Carey, Cam White. They've got a really well-rounded squad. Jake Weatherall's playing well. John O'Wells, Matt Short. They've got a really good team.
Matt Short, yeah.
Exactly. He's not getting as much. Well, he's still playing every game.
He's still playing. He's not scoring as many.
No, he had a good knock a few weeks ago of 34, I think. But he needs to get back on the bat. But
I think the biggest surprise, though, has to be the Renegades. They're still winless, and they are the defending champions. And that is a team who, come ODI and T20 season, are going to have a few players scalped, such as their captain, Aaron Finch. Could they go winless in 2020?
No, I expect them to bounce back.
Have we seen
the Renegades? Look, the Renegades are usually a good second half of the year side. So I expect them to bounce back. I don't know if they'll make the finals. I can't really tell at this point.
Well, I think losing 4 games, you're not going to make finals.
Oh, really?
I mean, I doubt it.
Okay. Well, I mean, with the competition being longer now, there's always a chance. And we've had 4 games. So there's plenty of time for them to get back in this competition. They've got the talent there, but they just need to start winning.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
They need to stop playing at the Etihad or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's
terrible.
Did you see that outfield?
Yeah,
as well? Was it marble?
Yeah, it's marble. It's so slow.
It is dreadful.
Yeah. Have we ever seen a team go without winning a game in the whole season?
And there's a first time for everything, Campbell.
Let's see it.
I reckon the Heat have done it. No. I think the Thunder didn't win a game for about 2 years at one stage.
No way.
Actually, I vaguely remember that.
They didn't win a game for 2 years, I'm pretty sure.
Christ.
How does that happen in
T20? I'd have to check that, but
no idea.
I reckon I'm about 85% sure that.
Alrighty. Well, Gussie, unlike the Renegades, if we're talking about winning teams, let's talk about Sydney FC playing against the second top side, Melbourne City, last week. And Sydney FC, quite early on, they went down to 10 men. Ryan Grant, one of their star players, sent off.
He's the one with the mullet.
With the mullet.
I love it.
Please shave it.
In the A-League. I love it.
It's good. It's good.
It's really good.
Might do the mullet in 2020.
Ooh.
Could do. No, I want to.
I could get one going.
Got to look professional for the podcast.
Exactly.
Anyway, even though they were down to 10 men, they still got a incredibly important 3 points with a 2-1 victory over Melbourne City. Did you guys watch any of this?
I didn't get the chance, unfortunately.
No, I did. Sydney FC look like a title side right now. They're winning the games that count.
Well, they know how to win, Gussie. They know how to win.
I mean, they've won, what is it, two championships in the last 3 years?
Yep.
Or it might be even 3 in the last 4.
Very successful.
But they know how to win. They know how to win the big games. And it proved again, against a good Melbourne City side. At a packed-out stadium at Jubilee, boys. Did you see the stadium? It was absolutely rocking.
It's good.
I didn't see it, but I love Jubilee Stadium.
No, it was Costa Barbarouses, of course, scoring. I think it was about the 83rd minute from memory, but it was almost against the momentum of the game. I think it was pretty even. I don't think any one side necessarily had the momentum. But Sydney being down to 10 men, you never really considered them to want to go for the win, or at least I didn't. I expected them to kind of just go, hey, let's hang on for a draw. But now they get that win, and I think they're 8 or 9 points ahead of City now.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's 9 points. Yeah, it's 9 points. There you go. Just checked it.
That's huge.
So that's basically them having 3 games in hand with a superior goal difference. A superior goal difference, there you go, by 11 goals.
That's massive.
So pretty much they have to lose, 3 games and draw 1, and City have to win all of them.
Wow. That's very tough.
So I think on route for the minor premiership, there is absolutely nobody who's going to stop Sydney FC.
Yeah,
barring a miracle.
I think there could be. Now we're looking at the Perth Glory here. They have been outstanding over the last 4 weeks. They've won 4 games in a row, and they've absolutely smashed everyone. So, of course, 2 weeks ago they beat Newcastle 6-2. They beat Central Coast 3-0 this week. They are looking like the side they were last year. They've shot up to 3rd now on the A-League ladder.
Wow.
We were bagging them a few weeks ago when they were in last.
We were.
And now they're up to 3rd. So it just shows how quickly things can change.
Well, it shows how tight this competition is, Gusman. Even Brisbane Roar, they played a few nights ago against Western Sydney Wanderers on New Year's Day, down at Wonderland or whatever they're calling Bankwest Stadium, and a very important come-from-behind 2-1 victory. And I think that's seen them go from equal last to third last, but with a game in hand, they could, one more victory, and they're in the top 6. So is the competition that even?
I think it is until the
or
top.
is it just,
I don't know.
Or is it just teams going through phases of success and...
I think
I don't
it's
even know at this
here and
point.
there.
Yeah. It's
I
hard,
don't even know at this point.
it's hard to say, but to me, I think it looks like a pretty even comp, except for Sydney FC.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
And Gussie, you bring up Perth Glory. Yes, they've been quite successful over the last few weeks, but they're 10 points back on the ladder.
Yeah.
So, who gets the chocolates at the end of the season? Yes, that's still open-ended, but the minor premiership, that's pretty well...
Yeah, it's open. Well,
No,
not
closed.
open, it's sealed.
That's
but the
closed,
rest
I
of
think.
it's well open.
Anyway, and another game. I've got to bring it up.
You have to.
7 games undefeated. My mighty Wellington Phoenix.
Up the Knicks.
A dominant 3-1 victory away to Western United in Ballarat. Actually, we were talking about the Fun Police before. The Phoenix, their tradition is when they're up, when they're winning in the 80th minute, all the fans take their tops off. But the Fun Police walked over and said, if you guys do that, you'll get kicked out.
Oh my god.
See, it's
Are they going to kick out 1,000 fans?
basically, yeah, but
Pretty
still
much.
a very, very big 3-1 victory against Western
What
United.
about the Rat Pack?
The Rat Pack?
You see that? The Ballarat, the fan group.
Oh.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
See, that's why
Gee
I'm not going to
whiz.
Ballarat anytime soon. I'm shaking in my boots.
I love Mars Stadium as like a ground for. It's great in the
footy, right?
AFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's although when I saw it was at Mars, I wasn't for the A League. I wasn't really that happy because I hate oval grounds in
In
square
rectangular
ga-
stadiums.
Yeah, it's
square games.
Square games.
Jeez, how would that
Rectangular
work?
stadiums.
Bring back
my God.
AFLX.
Oh no,
It's not quite a square, but still just food for thought.
That was grim. No.
That was a bad 2 years, mate.
Don't remind me.
The only thing I liked about that was the draft.
Yeah, me too.
I think if they
I
played
like
like
seeing
a
players.
they played like a pre-season
Yeah.
like drafting AFL
Yeah.
comp, great, but not the AFLX anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
As you were saying.
But yeah, no, I really, I think, I know I mentioned this to you guys before, but Ballarat could potentially have a side
In the
A-League.
AFL.
Both.
Oh, really?
I think both.
Yeah, I think Western United is basically that team.
But I don't think they
For
play
now.
enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Ballarat seems like a strange place to
it's
put an
only
A-League side.
it's only like 90 minutes to 2 hours out of Melbourne.
It's not that far.
So-
and it's
Yeah.
It's
kind of
realistic.
similar distance to Geelong.
It's realistic.
further, but-
I think that could be it. Well, they could have a team if there was a second division,
Yeah.
but they're not
for
going to.
sure.
They're not going to be the next expansion team. That's not happening.
No, there'll be another Brisbane team or another Queensland team, and then probably not another Sydney team, but
Of course, we got MacArthur coming in next year.
MacArthur, yeah, so that's
Um,
the next Sydney team.
So we're going to wait a few years for another announcement. but
Exactly.
I still think they'll go with another Victorian team.
I reckon
I just have a feeling.
Western United might play like 2-3 games there a season just to keep testing the continued market and then go, you know what, it's working.
Similar to the Heat and the Bash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, and similar to the Raw at Dolphin Stadium out at Redcliffe.
Yep.
So I like seeing that happen. But AFL side, I definitely could see Ballarat getting one because the Dogs are their affiliate, and I could see they always get a packed crowd. It sold out last year against Adelaide, but that was an awesome game. So fair enough.
Yeah, right. Well, big game this week, I guess, Sydney, Adelaide. Now, we spoke about Adelaide a few weeks ago as a team who could possibly contest with Sydney FC, but they've shown since then, I think we put the monkey on their back a bit,
think
or
we did.
They
bit of a curse.
they've
and
slipped off a little bit.
They have. They've kind of fallen away a bit, down to 5th. From, I think they were third
They're
or
up at,
second
yeah,
when we were
third,
talking
yeah.
about them. But they're now playing against Sydney in Sydney. This is as tough as it gets in the A-League. Can they do it?
Hey, they're only
No.
a game off with a game in hand, so they haven't really slipped off that much. They're only
Look,
3
I-
points back from Perth.
I don't see them beating Sydney.
No,
Like,
I don't either.
Sydney have been very dominant. Look, Adelaide, they slipped up against Central Coast, and then now they've slipped up against who was it just recently? Western Sydney, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
So it's just not good signs right now for the side. So
No.
I don't see them beating Sydney.
No, it's not. And another team who I guess are on the up is Melbourne Victory.
Yes.
They're at home to the Newcastle Jets.
This
and
is a game for them to make room.
It is. It's to kind of reclaim their status as a final side. And trust me, look, if they enter that top 6, you can bet your bottom dollar they're not falling out of it.
No.
You know, so, and I think this win, if other results go their way, they could possibly make their way up to that stage. And they're pretty favourable draw. They're at home to the bottom placed Newcastle Jets.
Yes.
So they should be able to do it. There's plenty riding on this week of A-League as well, which is pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You love the A-League. It's good. It's been good this season, I think. It's been very
better.
contested. Yes.
Oh, actually, I was thinking about this too. Could the A-League possibly take the BBL's spot as the free-to-wear sport in Australia and kind of become that family-centred, non-commercialised code?
It would really benefit them.
It would. I think it
as
would.
a sport.
I think that's smart. Like the BBL a few years ago, I think they've been made to rue that mistake of having Fox buy them out.
Yep.
Where the family engagement, it's just not there anymore.
No.
Whereas the A-League, it hasn't had that for about 5 years, I don't think.
No,
really.
I don't think so either.
Or at least in Brisbane, not since Brisbane were successful.
Yes.
So it's hard for us to
Isolated
say. But
market, but
exactly.
yeah.
But still, I think the A-League, if they considered it, they could become the new Big Bash and a massive hit.
Oh, it would be huge. Like if they were on Channel 10, I'd probably see them at Channel 10. As much as I like Channel 9 for sports, I think Channel 10 and Channel 7 do a good job of making it accessible.
Yep.
To the public. So I'd like to see it, but who knows?
Well, I think at the moment they have about one game on free-to-air television.
It's maybe like SBS
and I
or
believe,
something.
yeah, well, I think it's on
it's SBS.
Channel 10.
I think
Is
it's
it SBS now?
I think
Yeah,
it
I'd
is.
assume
Oh, no, it's ABC. It's the ABC.
There you
They
go.
put games on the ABC, I think.
But still,
So, yeah, it's not really good enough. You need to be on one of those main, like 7 or 9 or even, I guess, 10. They're just not going to get the same kind of attraction that the BBL gets quite yet.
No.
Certainly not.
And moving on from that to the ABL, let's talk about some Brisbane Bandits. They're playing. Well, they
Bit of
played
a voice
against.
break
Yeah,
there,
that
mate.
was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. Anyway, moving on as quick as possible. The Bandits, very tough series this week
Very tough.
against Melbourne Aces, who are I think third in their division.
Yes, they're doing quite well.
But it was a pretty mixed bag for the Bandits in this series.
It really was. So the games they lost quite convincingly. They lost their first game of the series 5-1 and the last game of the series 7-1. But the middle two games, they went down to the wire pretty much. They won the second game 5-3 and the third game 4-3. Really good grit and determination. I think you see more from those middle two games than you do from those the tail ends of those.
Yep.
And I'm assuming it was on the double header that they got both of those potentially. I'm not
Yeah,
entirely
I think
sure.
it was on the Saturday.
It was on the double
It was
header.
on the
Yeah,
Saturday.
I would assume so. But that's really awesome. That's a good day of baseball.
And it's better for them too with the Blue Sox.
Yes.
Coming down 3-1 in their series against Perth.
Exactly. Blue Sox are at the bottom of the table now in their division.
Are they? Gee
Yeah,
whiz.
they are. Yeah, and they were at the top. I believe so.
Yep.
Let me double check
That
that.
Tatara would be
Yeah, Tatara top.
pretty top.
And
Like almost
Canberra Cavalry.
You say
Yep, Blue Sox are at the
Tatara,
bottom.
Daylight, and then Canberra. They've
Yeah.
come from nowhere, really.
They really have.
But still, you talk about the Bandits trying to go for that 5 in a row. It's looking a bit more possible now because I think it's the top 2
Yeah.
go through.
Yeah.
It's very doable.
Literally, all they need to do is have one good series.
And they've got a few massive series up. I think they've got 3 divisional series in a row now.
Yeah, exactly.
Canberra, Blue Sox, then Tatara. So time will tell.
Time will tell. But, and you mentioned Perth Heat there. They're doing really well in their conference. They're coming second with 15 wins and 9 losses. Adelaide Giants are 16 and 8 at the top of their division. This is the Southwest. Melbourne Aces then sit at third with 13 and 11, and Geelong Korea with 9 and 16 are the bottom feeders there. We mentioned it before. Auckland Tatara are absolutely killing it. It's good to see. It's good to see a bit more competitiveness in the ABL this year with Tatara and Canberra Cavalry making us claim for the division. It's good to see. And then the Brisbane Bandits and the Blue Sox following them. So it's quite good.
So what's your pick? Again, building on the nature of predictions, what's your tip for the top 2?
In the northeast, I'd say Auckland top of the division, and then Bandits coming in second, followed by Blue Sox and then Cavalry. In the southwest, I'd say it'll stay as is. It'll be Adelaide Giants at the top. Or no, actually, I'm going to say Perth Heat at the top and Adelaide Giants behind them in second.
There you go. Well, we can roll that back
Exactly.
in a few months' time and
Nostradamus.
see how that plays out. Anyway, guys, just one thing I forgot to mention too. I was absolutely disgusted to find out the Brisbane Roar, the day before their game on New Year's Day, fireworks was going off outside their hotel room at about midnight.
What?
You didn't catch it, did you? Joke
No.
straight over your head?
Yeah.
New Year's Day, fireworks, midnight. Okay, never mind.
That's
Anyway.
the one you were waiting.
I know.
I
I forgot about it, and then I had to try and reel it in, and it didn't work. Anyway,
The problem
you
is
beforehand.
you don't really phrase it like a joke.
No,
So we actually
'cause
really
pick
think
up on it.
you're saying this seriously.
pick
Yeah.
up on it. That's
You
part of my
comedian.
future.
Well,
The thing is, I told you about it, and you were like, "Oh, I'm not going to tell you." And I said, "Well, what if I don't laugh?" And then it completely flops. This
flop.
is exactly
Didn't
what
flop.
happened. It completely.
People at
flopped.
home, they're laughing. Like always.
They're
like
not.
all of my jokes. Anyway,
Nine
not
out of
land.
10 of your jokes flop.
basically, and that one is golden.
Hey,
Anyway,
if you get, it's a numbers game.
if you want to hear more of my jokes, or if you want to maybe hear more about sport, make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook at _beyond the sidelines _ and at beyond the sidelines.
We released a new show.
We did, Campbell.
We
Extra
released a
time.
new show.
We sat down together and
We
we
did.
spoke without Gussie, which was something
Thank
different, something good.
Yeah, exactly.
And as Gussie since
You
pointed
guys
out,
cutting me out of the podcast or what?
we're trying to. That's what we talked about in depth on Extra Time. So if
Yeah.
that's something you're interested in, make sure you listen in on that show, which is exclusively on Spotify and Apple Music.
Indeed.
But Gussie's pointed out since the lack of league talk on that show
Yeah.
league was frightening.
I
Campbell,
don't, and we spoke about it once, I believe.
which was enough.
Exactly.
Enough.
One too many
Because
times.
I think it's a bit generous, including a game in a sport decade review.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe you didn't do the 2015 grand final.
Oh, that's
The
actually a
NRL
good point.
2015
That's a
grand
very
That's a
good
final.
very
point.
good point. I respect that.
I mean,
That's the best game of NRL in history.
I would say so too.
That's actually
That's
so
a good
true.
point. See, mate,
Okay, well,
this is why we need
We've got
you.
a lot to think about, but for all those who are still listening, make sure you tell your friends. Share this podcast around. Get them to listen. A belated Christmas present, why not? Early Christmas present, however you want to think
Start
about
off
it.
the
but
new year right.
Start off the new year right. New year, new you. You
New
need some
podcast.
you need some gym motivation. This is exactly it.
Oh yeah. Imagine listening to us when you run. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Gus, you talk about that Bulls Masters cricket.
I can't think
That's
of
funny.
anything worse.
Only 5k more. Play it again.
By the time it takes him to get through it, you'll be finished running 5Ks.
You'll be well out of your shower.
You'll get through it all right. I mean, that's for sure.
Anyway, big week of sport. Welcome to 2020, and we'll catch you guys next week.